So let's get into it. What really happens when a creator's biggest challenge doesn't come from the game, but from their own audience? Today, we're taking a look at pro gamer Sunita, who found herself facing that classic problem. Do you stick with what you're good at, or do you give the fans what they're asking for? And right here, this is where it all kicks off. It's just a simple, direct request from her own community. Sunita's fans, they really wanted to see her play a role she almost never touches, the sniper. And that's a huge challenge to her whole style.
And that right there is the central question for this whole thing. I mean, she's known for one very specific style of play, and her fans are asking for the total opposite. This isn't just about trying to win a game anymore. This is about stepping way outside of her comfort zone.
Now, Sunita is super clear about what kind of player she is. She calls herself a rusher, and she even admits, quote, "I don't know how to snipe. I really don't." So how does a top-level player even begin to tackle a skill they haven't really mastered? Okay, so for anyone who's not deep into gaming lingo, a rusher is all about pure aggression. It's fast, it's chaotic, it's getting right up in the enemy's face. Sniping, though, that's the complete opposite. It's all about patience, finding the perfect spot, and being incredibly precise. The two styles are like night and day, which is what makes this challenge so interesting to watch. But here's the thing. She doesn't just jump in and hope for the best. Nope. She treats this like a real professional. She sets up a plan. It's basically an A/B test. Play 2 games, each with a different character ability. One game with Iris, who gives more tactical support, and the other with Wukong, who's all about aggressive moves. The goal? To see which one gives a rusher turned sniper the best possible edge. And so, the experiment begins. First up, it's the trial with Iris. The thinking here is that this character's abilities might just provide the backup she needs to pull this off in a role she's not used to.
And wow, this quote, it just shows you the raw pressure she's under. You know, even for a pro, being out of your element is seriously stressful. You could hear the panic in her voice. It's such a real, human moment. I think anyone who's ever tried something new knows exactly what that feels like.
But then, bam! Right in the middle of all that chaos and doubt, her natural skill just takes over. She lands this incredible shot, and it's a great reminder that even when she's uncomfortable, her talent as a top-tier player is still there. What a fantastic moment of triumph. And the final result of that first test? A clean win. A booyah, as they say in the game. So with Iris, even with all the panic and pressure, she and her team managed to take home the victory. That's a really strong start to her experiment. All right, so with one win already in the bag, it's time to move on to round 2. This time, she's switching over to the character Wukong. Now, this ability offers a totally different set of advantages, so the big question is, can she do it again? And almost immediately, she hits a completely different kind of roadblock. It's not panic this time, it's a huge resource problem. At the worst possible moment, she's left with no ammo, totally defenseless. You can just feel the frustration. It really highlights a major flaw with this particular setup. But here's the crazy part. Even with all that frustration, her personal performance was off the charts. 10 kills. That is an amazing result, especially for someone who's not playing their main role. It just goes to show you, even with a less than perfect setup, her raw skill can still do some serious damage. So here's the bottom line for round 2. While she personally played an amazing game, the team just didn't get the win. And this sets up a really interesting debate, doesn't it? What's actually better, an amazing individual score or a win for the whole team? All right, with both tests in the books, it was finally time for the verdict. She had all the data from 2 very different matches, and now she had to figure out which approach was truly the better one for her as a sniper. When you put it all side by side like this, the answer becomes pretty obvious, right? The Iris game got her the booyah, the full victory, and it just felt better for her sniping style. The Wukong game, on the other hand, yes, she got a ton of kills, but it was still a loss, and she ran into some serious problems, like running out of ammo. And in the end, her conclusion is perfectly simple and straight to the point. The experience, the feeling, and most importantly, the result, all pointed in the same direction. For her, Iris was the undeniable winner for this whole sniping challenge. Case closed. But just when you think the experiment is over, she completely pivots. And this next question she has, well, it has nothing to do with in-game strategy. It's about the way she actually makes her content for the very fans who started this whole thing. And this is where things get really interesting.
After all that time breaking down her gameplay, she reveals that there's been a much bigger question weighing on her mind this whole time. And it's all about her process as a creator.
So she basically lays out two options for her audience. Option 1 is what she's doing now. Everything is live and raw. The game, her voice, her face cam, all recorded at the same time. Option 2 is more of a produced style. Record the gameplay first with total concentration and then go back and add the voiceover and commentary afterwards. And she turns this question back to her community, asking them what they'd rather see.
And you know, this really gets to the core dilemma for so many creators right now. We're in this world where everyone wants authenticity, but at the same time, the most polished, well-produced stuff often gets rewarded. So which way do you go? Is it the raw, in-the-moment skill that really matters, or is it the beautifully crafted story you tell after the fact? It's a huge question that goes way beyond just one game, and it really makes you think about what we value in the content we watch every day.